If you ask me, they about to send Keefe D to prison. If you don't know who Keefe D is, then hang around and you'll find out. For the rest of you who've been following the story about the Tupac Shakur's murder and about someone being brought to justice, kind of like the last man standing, and how Keefe D actually talked so much. He talked in interviews, he talked in books, he talked in printed ads. He just talk until he talked his way right into prison. This is the follow-up to that story as we sit. So the judge in Tupac Shakur's murder case now suspects that there was a cover-up for Keefe D's bail funds. The judge was always suspicious of where the hell all this money coming from after he'd been sitting a while and then a large sum of money suddenly appeared. Well, Wack 100 name is all over this. So, the former gang leader, Keefe D, or Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, he's no gang leader anymore. He is elderly. He is frail. He is out of a position of power. He is battling ailments, sickness. He's just got a lot going on. And he is incarcerated. So, the former gang leader had his bond once again denied on Tuesday, August 27th, and he will remain behind bars as he faces a first-degree murder charge for his role in the September 1996 shooting death of Tupac Shakur. Could you imagine doing some stupid shit back in 1996, and in 2024 you're about to pay for it and go to trial in 2025? Damn. So, according to the Associated Press, it says that Clark District Court Judge Carly Kearney, she made her decision known on Tuesday, and she was uncertain of the origins of the potential $750,000 bail bond. According to AP News, the judge said that she was skeptical about receiving after she received two letters that were identical, claiming that it was Music Executive Cash 100 or Music Executive Cash, Wack 100 Jones, who wired the payments to Keefe D. The judge said, this doesn't look right. So, although the money was posted, we not releasing you. We got to figure out where this money came from, because a lot of things are off about this money. Now, if you don't know it, you can't just, if your homie get locked up and he's making a lot of money in these streets, when it's time for him to post a high bond like $700,000 worth of bond, you can't just show up with a whole bag of cash. Even if you have $10 million sitting in a trap house, you can't just throw up with cash. The government wants to know where the hell you got that money from. And that is for good reason that these measures were put in place, because back in the day, that is exactly what used to happen. High rollers, people who get money in the streets, bangers, slangers, you know, those people had lots of cash on hand. So every time they got in trouble and the government said, your bond is set at $1 million, they'll just call the homies, tell the homie where to hit the stash house at, pick the money up, come get me out. And they would post that money and they would get out. Well, now, in modern times, and for some time now, you had to prove where that money came from. How was that money earned? Right? So the judge says, I have a sense that things are trying to be covered up here. So the judge started saying that after revealing that the signature on one of the letter was from a person who was not connected to the business, and that the second signature had a typo in the name of as well as a return address that leads back to a doctor's office that has nothing to do with this whole situation, by the way. So prosecutor Binu Palal believes that the defense may have committed a crime if they indeed submitted false paperwork. So now, not only is Keefe D already in trouble, now they're looking at his defense team, his attorney, like, your ass could be in prison too if you over here getting swindled on the side and them using you to do this false transaction to cover up anything. Right? So The prosecutor went on to say that the state takes this seriously. Be advised that it will not go uninvestigated. Which means they're about to dig deep. Wack 100 now previously testified in June about his motives for wanting to help bail out Keefe D. And I was wondering, why would you want to bail out somebody who self-proclaimed shot Tupac Shakur or was present when Tupac Shakur was being murdered, which means he was a part of it, the way he described himself, right? Well, Wack 100 had said that Keefe D had always been a monumental person in the community, especially the urban community, and that he also is suffering from cancer. So he was like, man, that man battling cancer, man, he ain't no threat to nobody. Let that man come home and live his last days out in peace. Nobody knows if he's going to beat that cancer or not. So it's kind of like a goodwill kind of gesture, at the same time trying to save a hood legend. But here's the hook for the fish to bite. Wack also discussed bailing out Keefe D during an interview on Vlad TV earlier this year. He said, it's only $750,000. I've been thinking about going to get him with the stipulations that I'll do the series on it. Okay, so boom. Right there is a business opportunity. You get to do the series on the arrest and the prosecution of the last man standing in the Tupac Shakur murder mystery. And then eventually it gets down to the wire where it gets interesting in film. And it makes for a good piece of history being recorded. Will Keefe D be found guilty and sentenced to life in prison at his age, or will he beat the case and walk out? And all this, Wack would have the right to use this material in film, and he would have the footage, and that would be his kind of thing. So he would be paying basically for the right to the rest of Keefe D's life for that $750,000 bond. However, Jones also admitted in a June court hearing that this is Wack 100, he also admitted in a court hearing that he sometimes says things for entertainment purposes and to drive up engagement, because that's the world we live in. If you put a video up, the video gets no views, you get no money. You put a video up, the video goes viral, lots of views, that's a lot of engagement, means a lot of money or a lot of opportunities to make money. Keefe D was preparing to post his bond back in June. But when he went to enter his $750,000 bail, the courts blocked that process due to concerns about the legitimacy of the funds. Where is this funds coming from? And the judge now recently said exactly what that concern was that caused her to block it. And it was because one signature looked phony, and it actually had a mistake in it. How do you put a mistake in a name and a signature, and then the other one, and then the return address that led back to the doctor's office that has nothing to do with anybody involved in this, Now, in addition to denying Keefe D's bid to be released on house arrest, Judge Kearney also pushed back the trial. So his trial will not be November 4th of 2024 anymore, but rather it'll start March 17th of 2025. Keefe D was arrested September of 2023 and charged with one count of murder with a deadly weapon in connection to the September 1996 Los Angeles shooting of Tupac Shakur. The legendary rapper ultimately succumbed to his injuries after being laid up in a hospital for 6 days. On September 13th of 1996, it was a sad and tragic day. Now, at the end of it all, do you think that Keefe D is going to be found guilty? I certainly do. I think because I've heard other law enforcement officials who've been on this case for umpteen years, since the beginning, they're out now saying we knew it from the beginning that he was. But he slipped up and that's how we caught him now. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV / BrainFLoTv. You already know. If the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.